Hey guys, yeah, it's about 9:15. Bus is running a little late, apparently, but it's not the bus I'm supposed to be taking. I was supposed to take the 7:30 bus this morning, but apparently it didn't show up at all. And if it did, it showed up either a little too early, or basically the person that was supposed to drive the bus didn't show up for work. I don't know. But I can tell you this right now. This is getting, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is getting ridiculous. They need to address this issue. I mean, I did call and leave a message, and thankfully the guy called me back, the chief guy in charge. His name is Adam. He called me back, said he had already contacted the operations, the first operations, to see what's going on, what happened. And I explained to him, not just, what happened this morning with me and another passenger waiting, but I also explained to him basically the fact that there have been other issues as well that are similar to this, not just in the morning but at night, to where people that obviously seem to be untrained and on the route, or as he put it, are not paying attention or learning, as quickly as they should, the routes and everything, that are going past this area, just going straight down Highway 30, down there, and he feels that basically they need to probably have another be retrained again. I explained to him that in the past they used to have drivers be the trainers for the new drivers, show them the ropes, show them the routes, even drive with them at night. He even acknowledged when I told him that about some of the drivers. He said, well, maybe they should have trainers for people, especially with the night routes, because they shouldn't be afraid. It's just, thankfully they do understand, and he did say that the first operations people would be calling me back eventually to figure out what happened, to kind of see what happened, because the bus should not be coming that early if it did, to try to get ahead of itself, just because they have the mindset of, oh, if I do this early, I get out early and all that. Or basically, if the person's not going to show, they should call the job and say, hey, I'm not going to be in today because of such and such, and you need to get somebody else. Whatever the case is, hopefully things will be addressed and taken care of, because as we get into the summer and me being the only one that's going to have work to go to, between me and my mom, hopefully it gets addressed very soon, and hopefully it gets fixed very soon, because this is downright getting ridiculous. Thankfully my job understood my situation, because I called them saying, hey, I'm going to be a little late, so I'll still do the 4.5 hours or the 4 hours, but instead of getting off at like 1:30, 1:40, it's going to be more along the lines of 2:30, 2:40. At least it's fair. And here comes the bus now, but I just wanted to mention that to you guys, and let me know if you've dealt with it before. And guys, yeah, I guess you consider this like the second part of the video. The first part was filmed this morning. As you can tell, I'm dropped off right here in front of Burger King and Rite Aid. The driver that dropped me off here, she's been doing it for a while along with some others. The others I haven't seen for a bit, but she's more willing to, like I've said before, drop us off here, because I think she realizes that for people like me and others, it's a easier place to be dropped off at, especially, since it's in front of a lot of things. But, yeah, like I told her, as I was getting out of the bus, it's at least a better trip back than it was starting off this morning, because, I was supposed to, like I said, be at work at 9:30, and then probably take the, or not, yeah, 9:30, 9 o'clock actually. I was supposed to be at work 9 o'clock. But I had to basically scratch that. And then I told the front end manager who does the scheduling, hey, I'll probably take you up on your offer to schedule me a little later, like 10:30 or 11 or something like that, because it'd be much easier to avoid something like this. And they're understanding about it. I mean, I know they got to say things like, it might hurt your, reliability and stuff, just to get you motivated. I get that, I understand that. I'm sure my mom has that kind of mentioned to her, told to her, in a similar way at her job. And the reason being is because they want you to be there when they need you to be there, no matter what the circumstance is. But yeah, and I contacted, the guy this morning, left a message and everything, and he called me back. He actually called me back. It's about 5:47, just looking at the time. She dropped me off about 5:45, 5:44. But anyway, the guy, I think that's about 5:45, 5:44, she just dropped me off. Yeah, but the guy basically, he called me back and he understood, what was going on. And he's like, that is not right, and everything, and that he just feels basically the same way, that that shouldn't have happened this morning, because what happened basically, like I said in the first part of the video, is the bus basically just didn't show up. I mean, right here is where we're supposed to stop for the bus. Well, the bus is supposed to stop for us, and it didn't show up. It didn't show up at all. It just, wasn't around. And according to the lady I rode with on the 915, they just didn't show. Like, maybe because here's the thing, she basically does what I'm assuming, because she goes from 45 to 40 and all that, so I'm assuming she does the 45 East. And when she probably showed up there to transfer over to being 45W, which she does actually, there was no 45W to transfer over to 40. So by that person not being there, he affects not just the 45W route at 7:30, but he affects the route of the 9:15, 9:20, 40 route going to Modesto, and thus affects the 45 East route that he's got to do afterwards. So basically, she, whoever it was, affects everybody involved, and that wasn't good. And yeah, everybody agrees that it's not right. The girl that just dropped me off said, yeah, they got to get their act together. I think honestly what it is I think what TransDev is doing, and they just don't realize it, is they're basically relying on people that are not only new maybe to the bus system or anything, but are mainly used to, well, I wouldn't say not used to the bus. Well, yeah, that kind of is true too. Basically, they're not used to the bus system, but that, but that some of them are actually, bus drivers that are more used to the Modesto area than around here, and maybe that's why they don't want to, corroborate, because they don't want to have to go out of the way to do some routes and everything that they feel is not in their jurisdiction. And it's crazy. It's really crazy. And like I said this morning, the guy basically did agree that these folks probably need to be retrained, and probably not, listening or picking up on what they're being taught and told and everything, or paying attention to the routes they're being, told that they're going to have, and probably, driven on with the other experienced drivers that, drive them. I don't know. Something has to be done. Because, again, by extension, it doesn't just affect me. It affects a lot of people. I mean, one guy that was waiting for the bus along with me said that he had lost a job previously because of this. Because of a similar situation in the past. And that's not a good sign. That's not a good look for your bus company if somebody ends up having to report, yeah, I lost my job. It's not good. But hopefully they will take care of it. I mean, the operations, they did call me back because he said he had reported it, called them. And they basically, basically they didn't leave no message, which was a surprise. I was surprised they didn't leave no message. But yeah, it was just, Yeah, I think him being the chief guy in charge is he's just as disappointed in it, and he knows that something has to be done. And I think what's going to be done is when everything is kind of in place, he, along with his assistant and others, are going to do this probably big old group staff meeting and stuff, and they're going to talk to everybody involved, and they're going to talk and point out a few things that they've heard people talk about, passengers and everything talk about by calling them up, emailing them, whatever. And they're also going to probably more than likely say, hey, those of you that have had this mostly pointed at you, put on you, you're going to get retrained, and you're going to have people riding with you until you get this right. But in closing, what started out as a bad start, if you will, turned out positive in the end, and that's all I can say about it. So let me know what your thoughts are down below, guys. Comment if you like, and I am out. I am out basically because one, I'm tired. I worked, and I'm also home now. So I will talk to you all later. Super thanks for being able to after the premiere. It would be appreciated. Thank you.